they came, and then they're gone. All right, so I was watching a, I guess, a replay of Live PD, and for all you morons who are have your head in your mother's fucking vagina, Live PD is basically a 3 hour show that is basically they go around kind of like Cops did, but only Cops on steroids. It's on A&E. Go check it out. It's kind of entertaining. And basically, I think for the past 2 weeks, that Live PD they've tagged along with the Lawrence Police Department in Lawrence, Indiana. I believe that's right outside Indianapolis. And so I was watching the replay like from 12 to 3, and a Lawrence PD cop about this guy who was suspected of having drugs or whatever. And the Lawrence PD cop said, "Well, you know how it goes. You've been arrested before. Or you're going to go down to the jail, and they're going to do a full body cavity search." Meaning he was trying to get the guy to hand him any, or to tell him he had any drugs in his ass or whatever. Okay, fine. So at that point, I was curious if the Lawrence County Jail has a policy where they just go digging in people's asses, because if they do, they're going to get sued like Cook County, because Cook County got sued for multi-millions of dollars, and you can't just randomly say, well, excuse me, they you can't make it mandatory that there's a full body cavity search. You can do it at random or in certain circumstances, but not just mandatory. Okay, that's illegal. That's a violation of your constitutional rights. Okay. So I called. I basically said, "Hey, do you have this policy?" He said, "No, we have a full body scanner." Okay, I was satisfied. The guy was nice, polite. I was done with it. Okay, so I was sitting thinking about all the great things I'm going to do later today, and I get this phone call from Lawrence County. So I was trying to record the phone call, and then the person hung up. So I called back. I got it recorded, and it's a very I'm not going to be too hard on the guy because the guy was nice, but but every time that I have contact with cops, I think, how can they be this dumb? And that second phone call, a guy's a nice guy. He's an all shucks country boy, but it's just stupidity how he handled the situation. I'm not gonna get too much into it because I want you guys to go listen to it. So go listen to it. Oh, and if somebody can guide me how to put a phone call in a video format so I can just post it, because people have done this before, but I'm not that technologically savvy. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if you can do it just from my iPhone, if you have to have special software or whatever to do it. But I like to know how to do that, because I literally have about 1,000, hundreds of phone calls, we'll say that would be great great YouTube material, but just posting them in the description, most people fucking don't take the time to look at it, or to actually view it. It would get more more attention if it were just where you could just hear it. So I'd like you guys to post this on your channels, because I think it's very telling that number one, the first deputy needs to be retrained. The second deputy needs to be, that he needs to be retrained. Now, I don't think they should be fired, but they need to be retrained. And me and some people were talking about going down to Lawrence, Indiana, but I'm gonna figure out a way to go down there in the next couple weeks or whatever, because I have a feeling that Lawrence PD is gonna act fucking dumb, because apparently making a phone call about a legitimate issue is a prank phone call, and then going down there and maybe facial garmenting or having a fucking camera. Oh, that's gotta be suspicious. That, oh my, So they've got a lot of fucking, training and learning to fucking do, and we'll see if how they're gonna treat me. But the other thing I want to talk about is I was watching this video on Yours News Now, aka CIA agent, aka Brian, aka law enforcement officer Brian, that guy. Brian, you're a piece of shit because you poison me every time I'm around you, and you need to die. That's how I feel about you. But if you need me for a constitutional issue, I'll be there. But you personally, I fucking hate you. Hate you. You need to start the dying process right now. Let's go. Start it. Let's go. Die, die, die. So I was watching this video and I thought I fucking saw a bearded fucking terrorist in Lafayette. I about fucking shit my fucking, cargo fucking pants. I'm like, what? What? And sure enough, it was a bearded, fat terrorist wrapped in a fucking hoodie that had to have at least size 60 fucking pants. Has anybody seen the size of that fat bastard? He is so fucking fat that every time he walks, he leaves a trail of fucking, of trans fat. Every time he farts, he's got Cheeto fucking dust polluting the fucking air. Every time he coughs, he has Skittles fucking. Look, the rainbow! Jeremy just coughed! Look at the spit! Yes, this is Breaker 49er. This is NORAD. We need to turn the satellite to see. We need to see the trail of the rainbow. Jeremy Seabolt just coughed over there. And so, just in case anybody hasn't heard, I am going to sue Mr. Seaball in federal court. Jeremy Seaball he doesn't understand, the legality of some things that he's admitted to the world on YouTube. And, yeah. So Jeremy can either, I'm going to give Jeremy some options initially. Basically, I'm just gonna, do some things illegally to explain to Mr. Seabalt and whoever represents Mr. Seabalt that here are the options you have. You can do this, or I'll tie you up in court for fucking 4 or 5 years. And basically, through the court process, because the legal process is slow. I have a current fucking the federal lawsuit against St. Joseph County that is just now, after about about a year and 4 months, give or take, is just getting into, coming down the home stretch. But, we're at least another fucking year and a half before fucking anything happens in that, unless I get a honest judge. We'll see what happens. But, I could fucking tie Jeremy up in fucking, federal court for fucking 4 or 5 fucking years and fucking bankrupt him fucking 45 times over, or Jeremy can cooperate. But since Jeremy's not a CIA agent, then, he can't cooperate. But, Jeremy and others, who I have evidence that you are CIA, then we'll see, what this all is about. Maybe just leave people alone. I will not do that, because if I leave people alone who are #1 CIA agents, then, they'll run amok. If fucking Swiney Poo is not there to fling shit, they'll run amok. They'll be smuggling drugs again. They'll be poisoning people. They'll be killing people. No, I won't do it. No, 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 no. And I'm pointing my little fingers at the screen. No, 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 no. No. So no. How do I know Jeremy specifically is CIA? I'll comment to Jeremy since I want to talk about the fat bastard. So, I don't know if... Gemini, I've given you opportunities to marry me, but you're CIA too, and you're you're a illegal alien, but you won't marry me. I'm a U.S. citizen. I can give you a green card, baby, but I don't think you're an actual female, and, so you have an opportunity, but you won't marry me. So, quit lying, Gemini. Quit lying. No, but getting back to Jeremy, no, So like at least twice on his live streams. So what Jeremy does, and see, Jeremy's an idiot, okay? And how I know Jeremy's an idiot is anytime that Jeremy posts a video to YouTube, or does a live rather, and he deletes it, he thinks it's gone. He thinks it's like ghost farts or like ghost cum at that point where it can never be gotten. But what Jeremy doesn't know, and everybody else who has a logical brain cell or multiple brain cells or lots of brain cells in some situations, used properly, know that I believe any live video or live stream rather is on YouTube servers indefinitely. Now that would depend on YouTube's retention, schedule, but I'm sure it's multiple fucking years because YouTube, they've had a lot of subpoena requests for videos and legal proceedings, okay? So I'm sure it's multiple years. And so Jeremy deletes them because he thinks they're gone. Okay, well, in at least two videos, Jeremy has admitted to being a CIA agent. Okay, and then I was watching that video of Jeremy with Your News Now, aka CIA agent Brian, aka law enforcement Brian. And I noticed some behavior from Mr. Fucking pig fucking Seabalt that he is CIA. And so basically, there's a civil case law that basically, in a nutshell, let's say that a member of the CIA, okay, or FBI, DOD, DIA, one of the alphabets, okay, a federal alphabet, or that you could even do this for state police or state police. That's kind of questionable because they're kind of immune under 1983. But a county cop, local cop, they're fair game. A judge, not so much. You can maybe spin a judge. Uh, Anybody who is basically, harassing you, who is making your life uncomfortable, poisoning you, trying to kill you, falsely arresting you, setting you up, doing something at the behest of their agency, okay? That's the operative, that's the case law I have to work within, okay? So I have Jeremy admitting live to the world at least twice that I can remember that he is CIA. Okay? Now, with that, that's all I need then to put all of the egregious things that Jeremy has done to me, following me. I am not CIA, but I am working on it. I am working uh, either for my own government or I am working on actually, working for, abroad governments because, basically because that I am engaging, the policy that the United States government has for governmental agents. I'm telling you I'm not. So it's the honor system. So you can believe me or you can put a fucking FOIA request in to the CIA, or you'll have to do it to all 22 intelligence agencies, and then you have to basically do it to every known governmental entity, DOD, FBI, on down the list to actually, confirm that. But then the problem is they'll cite national security, and you'll really, even though the CIA says they have a procedure, I don't buy that because it's not really a procedure. You really have to have a civil action against me, and then you'll have to basically subpoena all applicable agencies to get an actual confirmation. And then even then, they may pull the whole national security card. So if that answers your question. But anyway, back to live action regarding Mr. Seabald. Um, that it, it will not be a hard endeavor to sell it to a civil jury that number one, Mr. Seabald is CIA. That number two, Mr. Seabolt is undoubtedly acting at the behest of the CIA because a clandestine CIA agent, they have no rules or regulations. Even though the CIA says they do, that's up to their handler. And uh, and my contention has always been that where does a clandestine governmental agent, CIA, you know, DOD, DIA, etc. Like, where does their personal capacity, meaning, the guy that goes to Lowe's and takes his kids to school or who's a known painter, and then, their unknown capacity of their clandestine, capacity. Are you PMSing? That's unfortunate, Sue. I hear that cocoa butter and Midol and cranberry juice does wonders, girl. I got your back, Sue. Hugs and kisses. Even though you haven't, even though you haven't given me a blowjob yet, that's unfortunate, but I still love you. Um. Anyway, I need my own goddamn radio show because I'm just doing this shit off the top of my head and you love it. I'm inside you. You can hear me. I'm inside you, and you may have a yeast infection. Get that checked out. But anyway, um, it just seems egregious that it, that in the year 2019, and then I'm gonna wrap this up in about 3 minutes because I got some things to do. Have an appointment. Um, it seems egregious that in the year 2019 that for basically immigration inspection and for if somebody's accused of being, CIA, basically smuggling drugs, killing people, doing a whole bunch of illegal things, human trafficking, slavery, prostitution, raping, as Earl David Warden, has admitted he's a governmental agent, he's a raper. At the best, the CIA. This is a different discussion. But basically, the policy is if you are a suspected, alien, you just have to answer the question yes or no. No proof, no nothing, just, that you can lie to the question. And that's what we have as our defense for our southern and northern borders. Fantastic, huh? And so that's the same system we have for accusing somebody of being a governmental agent. Like, some have said, well, I actually said that Sue is a governmental agent for multiple fucking things, but Sue denies it, and then now Sue won't talk to me. So, yeah, nothing's connected. Anyway, I'm just a crazy bastard. You got nothing to do to give us some goddamn what now? That is egregious, Louie. I am not your bitch. You're my bitch. Okay? I don't have to give you content. I don't have to give you my greatness. I could put mediocre bullshit and make it so nobody would watch or listen. Believe it or not, I have the ability to be uninteresting. I can be like you, Louie. I can, I can be going around, you know, I could be driving a white van and offering, free candy to kids like you, Louie. I could be that uninteresting and creepy and criminally illegal. Anyway, do you guys have anything else you guys want to say? Comments? Blowjob offers by Sue. I might deny it because she's a governmental agent. I don't know, maybe. You do not want candy. You do not want candy from me. I may give you some salty candy you may not like. You don't want my type of candy. Anyway, if you're illegal, that's not my fault because I didn't know you were illegal. So, in age, or your immigration status, or any of the above. Anyway, I will not show you my wiener. No, no, no. My wiener is so small that I have to use a special microscope, and I gotta get the gyroscope out, and then I gotta get tweezers. I broke my last pair of tweezers because the tweezers couldn't hold on to anything, so I have to actually, get a special pair of tweezers that have extenders on the end to get something that small. There you go, making statements with no proof. Louis, If you don't like my content, you don't have to listen to this shit. You know, Louis, I don't. Maybe you don't understand me. You don't. Okay, but anything I say about governmental agents is absolutely true. Okay, statements I made about you in a white van, that's just bullshit. That is content. That is humor. That is, something to fill a few minutes. Okay, so chill out, Louis. Don't take yourself that seriously. If somebody can't laugh at yourself and you poke fun at yourself like I did on my alleged small penis, then you're just gonna die of a heart attack. Anyway, any other questions? Going once. Oh wait, what now? The only candy I have is sitting in the mirror. On the mirror or in the mirror? Like, are you the candy or do you have like cocaine like on your mirror? I'm confused. How do you have candy in the mirror, Louis? That's interesting. But anyway, going once, going twice. Any other questions? Any other questions? Comments? Blowjob offers? 2.5? 2 3/4? 2 7/8? I think that's 2 1/6.